Welcome back. I'm Katie, and right now, we are talking about how you can build a high-performance team in the workplace. I will share 3 unique principles that will have your team producing faster, reduce the amount of fires that you're having to put out, and increase effective communication. Let's hop in. The first principle I'm teaching will allow your team to move in sync, instead of it feeling like everyone is disjointed. Then I'm sharing how to create goals that everybody buys into and remembers. Lastly, I'm sharing the third principle, which will help every touch point in your business align with your goals and objectives. Let's hop into it. If you want a high-performance team, it starts with you, specifically with you setting the vision for the company. You've got to know where you're going. Nobody wants to be blindfolded and pushed into a dark room. It's natural for them to resist stepping into that darkness. So begin to help them see the picture for where it is that they're going, so they don't feel blindfolded, pushed into a dark room. The thing is, the vision is so clear and obvious to you that you can't even imagine that they can't see where they're going. And what they need is just constant repetition of the vision. You have this unique perspective, right? This thing that you're driving towards, and make sure at lots of different interactions, whether that's in the agenda of the team meeting, in your personal one-on-ones with your team members, side conversations, constantly be referring back to the vision of where we are going. What is your vision? It is that strong reason why you're doing what you're doing. You have a unique perspective. And because you have that unique perspective, you solve problems in a different way. So help them understand what that is. Why is what they're doing so important? Why does it matter? Your vision is the reason why you're doing what you're doing. It's not necessarily specific on the action, that comes later, but it's the thing that's going to help your team members have an emotional connection for why this even matters, why we're doing what we're doing. Are we just pushing papers around and charging people's credit cards, or are we doing something that actually matters? Maybe your vision is that one day there is a world where people no longer have to go hungry. This is an example of a vision. Step 2 is your mission. You take that vision, which is kind of big and not necessarily actionable, but it very much is making an emotional connection. You take that and you put it into an actionable mission. Think military, right? You got this leader plus his team, and they are going to execute on a very specific mission. So if you imagine a world where people no longer have to go hungry, how can you put it into a mission that your team can now go and execute, which might be something like feeding 1 million people in the next 5 years. That's a specific mission. So to give some examples, your vision might be, I believe X, Y, and Z, and then your mission is going to say, we do this by, and then it's going to state specifically how you put this into action. Speaking of action, hit that button, like and subscribe this channel, and hit that notification bell. Once you have your vision and your mission spelled out, now we want to bring it down into the values. These are going to be really important guide rails, guideposts for your team in making very specific decisions throughout the day. Because you need them to be empowered. You don't want to be there making all of the decisions, but at the same time, you need them to be taking action and doing things in a way that aligns with the brand. And how do you do that? The guides are the values. These are the things that are going to help them understand how we take action and how we as a brand represent ourselves in the world. You might be thinking, Katie, I've heard this before and I've done this. I have a mission. I have a vision. I have values and my team's not living up to it. Guess what? It starts at the top. So if it's not showing up in your team's actions, that means that you're not sharing it. You're not implementing it. Maybe you're not even living it. And that's the difference between success and failure. You have to actually be implementing and living these values. They might need some help understanding how to apply these values. So maybe when you do something and you're demonstrating to them what to do and why you've done it the way that you have, you can reference these values. Help them see these guideposts because they're a beacon for how to make decisions, critical decisions inside of the business. How can I make this a little bit more real for you? When I started my company, it was just me, my husband, and my brother-in-law in the beginning. And we just intrinsically knew the company values. We knew the mission, we knew the vision, And it really was kind of this unspoken thing. But about 18 months in, as I was really building my team, I saw how very quickly things could start to become disjointed and people were doing things that were not representative of the brand. And so this is the point in the business where I said, I have to clearly define these things. And it can kind of be an agonizing process because you want to include all kinds of things. But I would say specifically when it comes to values, don't have so many that they can't remember them. You want it to be something that your team can internalize. When they know these values and they can recall them in a moment, it will help them make decisions that align with the brand. And that's the whole objective here, is to give them those guideposts. So define the values in a way that they're easy to recall and they're actionable. For example, the values inside of my company, Pudge, I have 4 of them: simplicity, family, independence and freedom, and now and wow. And I've used these values in all of the touch points in my business. I've used them when designing products, right? I've designed products that allow 2-year-olds to get their own cup of water and then store their cup away so that it's always right where they need it. And I've also got products that help a 3, 4, 5-year-old wrap themselves very comfortably and fully covered in a towel. So these principles, these values get designed into all of the touch points. Another value, now and wow, is I was making the package for a baby towel. It's a box with a window in the front so you can kind of feel the material. And I realized that as they take the towel out, there's now like this window to the back of the box. And I thought, that's a chance to say something to them. It's like a message that's going to be framed in the box. And I thought, it was just that little thoughtfulness of how can I wow my customer and kind of deliver the unexpected. So as the customer takes the towel out of the box, then in that little window is a note that says, give your baby a hug for me, heart, Katie. And it was like that little personal touch that had them make this emotional connection between the product they just purchased and what they were experiencing in real life. And if you can help somebody make that real human emotional connection, that's what really separates you from the competition. Another value, family. I learned to be flexible with my team when they had different family functions they needed to do, a kid's soccer game. We learned how to work around that because I was living the value of family. It wasn't just something that lived on a plaque on the wall. We were actively implementing and living these values. So yes, you need to define your values, and then you also need to look at how can we live these values inside of this incredible company. This is how you get high performance out of your team. What I've just shared with you is incredible. And it's just the beginning of how I can help you. Right now, I'm going to offer you a free guidebook where I show you how to be the one that you've always dreamed of. That CEO, that founder, that guy who walks into the room, he's super generous with people, he makes people feel seen, heard, and valued. He's great at problem solving, he's navigating tremendous complexity, super present with his spouse, he's got an incredible relationship with his kids. Listen, I know that that is a big part of your dream and desire, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It starts with the guidebook. Click the link below. You can start downloading it right now. I'm Katie Richardson, and you're awesome.